What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Maverick Man 101. Got a video here today from Man Talk. Let's get right to it.
Life is so funny because, like, one day you're living in a $10,000 a month apartment.
What?
$10,000 a month apartment. And,
That is crazy.
like, getting to do whatever you want and eating at Michelin star restaurants all the time and going on a vacation to the Aman Hotel in Sri Lanka and then extending the trip and going to Singapore and staying at the Ritz-Carlton. And you're with this man who you think you're going to marry, and he's made you financially dependent on him over the course of the relationship.
Now, let's put that through our Adeptus Mechanica certified Womanese translator.
Cogitating.
It's a lot easier to just spend his money, so I stopped working.
And then you get into a fight one night, and
Yeah, I hate to stop it so early, but I'm sorry, did she say a $10,000 apartment? I mean, how many men are just living in a $10,000 apartment? First of all. Second of all, sounds like, yes, this woman is spending this man's money, enjoying his resources, which, you know, is what it is, right? He's letting it happen, so whatever. And going on trips. She didn't say what she does, right? Besides just eat off this man. And then she said something that this man made her financially dependent on him. Ma'am, no, you did that. Doesn't sound like you guys are married. He didn't propose. You were dating, boyfriend, girlfriend. And she thought she found a meal ticket, right? She thought she found her meal ticket. She thought she found her Golden Glove winner, her gold medalist, because she was waiting at the finish line. And then I don't think that's what happened. So let's keep going.
and he turns ice cold and cuts you off financially completely, and you have no cards because you've been using his card, so you don't have any money on you. And while you're sleeping, has his friend go over to the apartment that you guys have shared since like the lease began and moved in together, and like it was our apartment.
No, sweetie. It's the owner's apartment. Your ex was just renting it as a smash pad.
Yeah, you see how hyped she was? She thought she found her golden, golden egg, golden goose, whatever it is. She thought she found it. And now it's like, oh, our apartment. No, ma'am. This man was most likely just renting it out to bring you over to clap your cheeks and do whatever else he wanted with his other property. See how hyped women get when they find like a rich man? I'm telling you, it's like they found a golden ticket in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. They be wanting to show off and tell people. Ma'am, you were being used. And then again, that financially dependent stuff. No, ma'am, you thought that you were just going to attach yourself to this guy. And he was like, no, he wanted to have fun with you. You were for recreational purposes only. And that's exactly what happened. Let's keep going.
And has his friend pack up all of your stuff and then drop it outside of your friend's apartment in his hallway. Says find your way back to New York, and it's January, so when I get back to New York I will have technically nowhere permanent to live.
So let me get this straight. You went on vacation with no money.
Big mistake.
Then you got into a fight with the guy who has the money.
Big mistake.
And he just left you in Singapore and told you to deal with it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
And there's absolutely nothing I can do because I wasn't on the lease, and he was calculating in that.
as every rich man should be. And guys, pay attention and take notes. You never put her name on the lease, and never in your worst nightmares do you put her name on the deed to the house.
That's heresy.
Right. Again, so this guy left her. They were in Singapore. She started a fight with him. I just don't understand why she's so shocked that this guy told her to find her way back to New York. Like, if you're so strong and independent, right? If you are a woman, hear me roar. That would have been no problem. You should have been fine, right? Her response should have been, oh, yeah, I'll find my way back to New York just fine. Because she is strong and independent. She don't need nobody. That's exactly why she didn't bring any money on this trip. Because she don't need nobody. She don't need no man telling her what to do. I bet you she went back to New York. Well, yeah, that's what she said. She went back to New York and ain't have a place to stay. Well, you shouldn't have argued with your meal ticket. Because that's what he was.
And obviously this is partially my fault for making the mistake of becoming financially dependent on someone when I really didn't need to. Like, I had a career.
Yeah, but hypergamy is one hell of a drug, and it just goes to show that for all the BS about women being strong and independent and making their own money, a lot of them actually jump at the chance to not have to work and spend a man's money.
Guys, first.
Oh, yeah. Not to stop it so quickly again, but I 100% agree. I've always said this, right? You talk to women in their 30s, mid to late 30s, even early 40s, they don't want to work, gentlemen. They don't want to work. They're burnt out. I'm telling you, just randomly, just a woman in your family, just ask her, over 30, over 35, you know, how you feeling about work? She ready to crash out. I mean, these women have been sold this dream since they were little girls. And then they proceed through life trying to attain those things. They're chasing the dragon, right? They're chasing the fantasy always. They wouldn't know what else to do. They don't know what else to do, right? So they got to chase that fantasy of the boss girl. They can be CEO by 30. They can have their own business. And yep, sure. You might one day, sure. You won't be 30 or 35. Might be 40, 45. Single with a cat, right? But they're burnt out. And so for this woman, the previous woman, not the one on the screen, that one, she was ready to let it go, right? I mean, think about this. They work their whole lives for that career. They go to school. They get in tons of debt. They do all this stuff. The second they meet a man that has money, they give it all up. They give it all up without a doubt. And then blame the man. They don't want to work, at least not the way that they think they want to work, right? You're 35 in this country. 9 times out of 10, you ain't retiring. You gonna have to work, baby girl. You're gonna have to work, right? Government probably pushing that retirement age to 70, 71. So if you're 35, 40, you got another 30 years to strap up those boots and get out here and make it happen. But they not built like that. Let's keep going.
First of all, I have a lot of money in savings.
Nice!
Especially for my age, so I'm all good there. The context is, like, I lost my credit card, so I was using his when we were in Singapore.
What's the same woman? Oh, Jesus.
So when I say he left me penniless, I mean, like, I didn't have access to my bank accounts at that time and place.
You mean to tell me that in this day and age, you don't have a banking app that allows you to pay by phone?
Every day, more lies.
Honey, you're broke.
Two, regarding the apartment, we only moved in like 3 months ago. And I wasn't like working like taking as many freelance projects during those 3 months because we were working on a project together. We were going to open a venue. So I was doing like creative, hiring architects, finding a space, like building a team, etc. And that's something I would have been paid out from like down the road.
Oh, I see. You thought he was going to invest his money into your idea and you were going to profit from it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, you serious?
Right.
Let me laugh even harder.
3, like the most like stressful part of this whole thing is just like all of a sudden not having housing. I never in a million years thought he would give me 0 notice and like.
Oh, shut up.
Ooh, my bad. I didn't realize this was the same girl. I think she just looked a little, I think she had her hair tied in that previous video. Okay. Well, yeah, girl, you on your own. You are on your own, right? And again, talking about he gave her 0 notice. Ma'am, this was not your husband. This was some guy that was just bedroom fun for the night. For 3 months, however long they were together. And she tried to leech and thought that he was going to give her money for her business, right? These floaty type women, right? These freelancers, excuse me, these freelancers, these creative types, these kind of go with the flow. This is exactly where they end up, right? Dude completely left her out. She tried. She tried, right? Men can't do this, right? Men can't just latch on and just have a woman, you know, pay and she's just cool with it, right? She'll flip tables over. She ain't really just gonna be happy with it, right? But this woman can get on the internet mad at this guy. Let's finish up here.
Sweetie, I don't know if you're aware, but he doesn't owe you any kind of courtesy.
Right.
Actually, you owed him the courtesy of not arguing with him because he pays for your entire existence without even being married to you.
Right.
Now,
Hey, my point, I just said that, right? They're not married. They're not married. They're just together, if you will. But you got to give her credit. She tried. She tried to secure the bag, and it just didn't work. Don't start arguments. If you marry a rich boyfriend, just nod your head, right? You're better seen, not heard, ma'am. Learn it. If you want to date these high-value, rich men, right? You're better seen, not heard.
a lot of people were asking in your comment section what the argument was about, but that's irrelevant.
That's a good point.
Because, sweetie, let me tell you something that modern Western society failed to tell you about hypergamy and dating rich men, which is...
We're not rich. I'm rich.
Which means if you give him any kind of attitude, for whatever reason, he's gonna replace you with a more compliant model.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Hey, man. Yeah, good point. I mean, yeah, I don't think the, what was it? The argument. I think people was asking about the argument. I don't think it matters, but it definitely was something strong enough to make him mad, to cut her off and tell her to, you know, find her own way home. So, you know, there you go. But, Shaq had a good point, right? He's rich. They're not rich. But she gave it a good old try and then failed. And she's upset, but I mean, what can you do? What can you do? Yeah, just don't start fights if you got a rich boyfriend, right? You would think that this woman, if she really wanted to secure her bag, she would literally do whatever he wants, right? And I think that's the problem with a lot of these women, right? They want these high class, high status, rich men. But getting those guys and keeping those guys are two totally different things, right? She was able to get them for a short period of time. Clearly couldn't keep them, which means, ma'am, you ain't it. Date within your range, right? Date within your SMV. Otherwise, keep making videos about starting fights with your rich boyfriend. And she'll brag about this, right? That rich men, date her or propose to her or whatever it is, right? But she can never keep them. Can never keep the high value man that she loathes after. But anywho, guys, thank you for tuning in today. Until the next time, eat well, sleep well, be well. I'll see you guys later. Peace.